Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day number 3. Would love to hear how things are going so far. Would love to hear your results, any frustrations that you're having. How many new customers have you gotten? How many new partners have you gotten? How many conversations are you doing? Is your number increased? Hopefully it has. This is all about quantity, guys. So hopefully your numbers have increased, and hopefully over time it gets easier. The first one is always the hardest. Every time we do a challenge, every time I give you a new assignment, the first one is always going to be the hardest. And then the second one gets a little easier, and the third gets a little easier. And by the time you get to 20 and 30, it seems like it's old hat. So hopefully you're starting to see that. Hopefully you're doing the actual assignments that I give you every day. It's interesting to see because, some people don't do the assignments and they don't get results, and other people are actually having the conversations and they're taking the conversations from text message to an actual real life conversation, and they're getting conversions. And so that's the trick is, you don't think that you can send out 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe even 70 messages on text message and think that you're going to get this astronomical amount of, good quality leads that are converted into customers or partners. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Text message is a great way to, start a conversation. It's a great way to ask for time on somebody's schedule, but then you really need to have, the personal touch, especially for these activities that we're talking about. Right. So day one, the assignment for day one was for you to reach out to your hot market and ask them for their support. Right. So that's really not necessarily, you may want to text them and ask them for time on their schedule to have the conversation, but you don't want to have the whole conversation over text message. Assignment number 2 yesterday was to make a list, and we were taking a very direct approach to people that you thought if they would just give this a real chance, they would totally crush it. Again, reach out on text message, chit chat, look for an opportunity to have a conversation, and then you want to get it out of text message into a live conversation, whether it's Zoom or phone, doesn't matter, or face-to-face in person, as quickly as possible. So those are the first 2 assignments. I just want to reiterate that the first part of this, this first 30 days is to get as many people as possible into your funnel. So let me see if I can, I'm not the best drawer here. Let me see if I have a pen just to illustrate this. Okay, so the first part of what we're doing here, if this is a funnel, sorry, I'm not the best drawer. Okay, the first part of this is to get as many people in here as possible. As many people in here as possible. And the goal is for them to shake out and for you to either make a customer out of them or you're going to make a partner out of them. Right? So the strategies that were given, that we gave you on day 1, and the strategy that we gave you yesterday is to give you, different ideas, different methodologies of getting as many people as possible in here. Not everybody's going to shake out at all, and not everybody's going to shake out and become a customer or a partner, and not everybody's going to shake out in your timeline. So the goal is to get as many people in here as possible. So the strategies, the tools, the different scripts are all different tactics that you can utilize in your market that are, these are proven tactics, guys. So what I'm doing every single day is I am popping into Eric Worre's the GoPro Accelerator group. So if you were at GoPro, the accelerator program is about $10,000, and Eric Worre has put everybody through a 90-day run. They started on January 3rd. So I'm watching his training every single day. I'm seeing the results that people are getting, and I'm bringing all of that to you. So hopefully you are putting all of this into practice, and you're starting to get some traction as well. If anything, like I said yesterday, there's really no failure here as long as you're taking a look and seeing over time what works for you, what talk tracks works for you, sending a tool, having a conversation. Then you've had success. You haven't had any, there is no losses, even if people didn't say yes to you, because you're figuring out what works for you. So our job right now in the first part of this 30 days is to fill this funnel. All right. So let me show you something else here that Eric did that I thought was helpful, just to drive home this point of why it's so incredibly important for you to have quantity. All right, so back to the funnel. All right, he gave an example of honey. So if we put 1 drop of honey in here, do you think, what are the chances that 1 drop of honey is going to come down and make its way out of this funnel? It's going to be really low, right? Because there's friction here. There's no momentum. There's no flow. So it's going to be, no matter how strong it could be the best honey in the world. It could be organic, non-GMO, the most nutrient rich honey from the best bees in the world. And if there's just 1 drop here, the chances of it getting out of the funnel and down here to the bottom is going to be incredibly low. But what happens if we put another drop of honey here, and another drop of honey, 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 and we start pouring in the honey? Now we're pouring in the honey. Do you think that it's going to get traction and we're going to start to get drops of honey that come out of the bottom? Absolutely, 100%. So, that's why quantity is such a big deal, because quantity gives you velocity. And that's why we're giving you so many ideas to get people in the top of the funnel so that you can get velocity in your business and they can start to drop out of the bottom. So hopefully you are encouraged and energized that you're getting real life examples from the best of the best that we know works. So I know that some of you are having results, and that's great. Some of you are doing a really, really, really good job of having conversations. You're making yourself uncomfortable, and you're getting results, but I'm just here to tell you that you're still doing too few. Our job right now, we want to recruit 20 people in 30 days, and that's going to take a lot of conversations, a lot of reaching out. So I want you to put in the chat. First of all, if you're watching this live, hit write live. If you're watching this on a replay, write #replay. But I also want to know, how many hours did you commit to working your business today? Is it 1 hour? Is it 5 hours? Is it 10 hours? How many hours did you commit to working your business? And Eric had a great little challenge. He said, what if you were paid $1,000 for every conversation that you had that could move your business forward? Think about it that way. How many conversations would you have today if you knew that you'd get paid $1,000 for every conversation that moved your business forward? So, you got to get your mind in the right set so that you are poised to have conversations that are going to result in moving your business forward, because you just never know which conversation is going to change everything for you. So just to recap, the first challenge, and if you haven't done this, if you haven't completed it, I want you to still continue to work on it. Through day 1, 3 days ago, the challenge was to reach out to your hot market and to ask every single person that you know in your hot market, you have great relationships with, your friends and your family, to become a one-time customer, right? And we had a script that you're going to be in a hurry. It's very attractive. People that are in a hurry and people that are busy are far more attractive and interesting than somebody who has all the time in the world and that is almost begging somebody to take a few minutes of their time to have a conversation and listen to what they're having and what they have to say. So challenge number 1 is be in a hurry. And ask them if you have just a few minutes. There's something that's really important that you want to talk to them about. share that you're involved, you know that I'm involved in Juice Plus, disqualify them immediately. Don't worry. Don't worry, Lauren, you're not a prospect. You're not on my list. In fact, I don't think that this is right for you. This is right for me. This is something that I'm doing. And in fact, I am really focused on this 90-day run. And I really appreciate the fact that you've always supported me. You've always supported me in everything that I've done. And I want you to know that I support you back. I'm asking you today if you would continue your support of me and become a one-time customer. Could you become a one-time customer? It's going to cost you $1.67 a day, or it's going to cost you $3.50 a day, which I know is about the same amount of money that you spend on your sweet tea every day. So just think about, you're buying an extra sweet tea every day, but this is going to really help you with your health. It's going to be $3.50 a day. It is something that you need to do for 120 days, because that's where you get the biggest benefit from your body, is when your cells turn over. You do it for 120 days. And if you could just give me some feedback at the end of it, I would greatly appreciate it. If this is something that you don't enjoy, then after the 120 days, I promise I will never say anything to you about this opportunity again. And I'm so grateful that you just, at least took the time to listen to what I had and consider becoming a one-time customer. All right. That was challenge number 1. So if you have not finished that, you need to go do that, because again, back to, the analogy, we want to get as many people in the top of our funnel as possible. And that's going to get people in your funnel. And whether you realize it or not, that is getting potential distributors into your funnel too, because they're having a product experience. Now there's no trick here, but you just need to realize that, they may think of it for themselves down the road, or they may potentially think of it as an opportunity to share with somebody that is looking for an opportunity. So that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 was a very direct approach. So a very direct approach is you're going to create a list of all the people that you think could do a really good job at this. So create a list of all the people in your life that you think could do a really, really, really good job at this. And you're going to reach out to them. And with the script yesterday, so go look at yesterday's post, you'll see the script. Again, you're going to be in a hurry. You're going to ask them, you're going to tell them that you think that if they could just give this, if this is for them, that they could absolutely crush it. They were one of the first people you thought of because of XYZ reason. Be very thoughtful, get into your heart, say things that are real and that are true. You can have a conversation with them, or you can direct them to a tool. You could say, listen, you know what, this 7-minute tool explains it a lot better than I can. And I would love for you to view it. If I were to send you a link to this 7-minute video, would you take the 7 minutes and watch it? Lauren's going to say, of course, Christy, I'll watch your 7-minute video. And I'll say, awesome. When do you think that you could watch it by? If I send it to you now, I can watch it by tomorrow. Okay, great. So tomorrow's Thursday. Would it be okay if I followed up with you at 6 o'clock tomorrow night? Would that work? Or is there a better time to follow up with you? End of story. That's challenge number 2. All right. I'm going to reiterate to you how important it is to get people off of text message and into real live conversations. All right. We are talking to people that we know. We're talking to people that we like. We're talking to people that like us. So this is not a conversation that you just have over text message and call it a day. So make sure you are having the conversion into a real life conversation. So challenge number 3 that Eric introduced today is all about practicing. So you want to go back to that hot market. So people that you may have already just had a conversation with, they may have just said no to you, or maybe they're people that you haven't reached out to yet. But you're going to just ask them if you could practice your presentation before you go live, before you get out in the world and you go mainstream. You just need to, you need a comfortable place and an honest person to listen to the presentation and to give you some feedback. So that's all you're going to do. You're going to go back to your hot market. You're going to ask them if you could please practice on them. Don't worry, you're not a prospect. I just am looking for, this is something that I'm doing. I don't think you're the right fit for it, but or you already told me that this is not the right fit for you. I totally respect that, but I hope you understand, as an entrepreneur, it's really important for me to get my talk track down so that I can, before I get out there and start talking to people where it really, people that I'm really actually would potentially be interested. And so, what that is doing again is, if you remember from the first and the second lesson that I taught, our job is just to educate. Our job is not to make a decision as to whether people want to do this, if they're going to say yes, if they're going to say no to the product or being a partner. That is not our job. Our job is just simply to educate them on what it is we're doing. So I hope you see in option 1, option 2, and option 3, just practicing your presentation, you're educating more people because you're giving your presentation to them. Now, if you are talking to a true entrepreneur and they hear your presentation and they hear and see an opportunity in there, it's going to be really hard for them to deny that. Right. So, again, whether they consider this for themselves or they keep you in mind for somebody else in their life that could benefit from this as a customer or as a partner, you are educating them, and they cannot not see the opportunity if they truly believe that there's something real here. So that's the lesson for today. Our job is to educate the process. This process will educate more and more people, and we just want to increase our quantity. So I challenge you to, whatever you're doing, just to up it. Maybe you can multiply it by 1.5. Maybe you can multiply it by 2. If you're reaching out to 20 people, see if you can reach out to 40 people. If you had 2 conversations yesterday, see if you can get 4 people converted to a live conversation today. And let's do this, guys. It's day 3 of 90. I'm so excited to see all the results. Please put some notes in the chat. Would love to hear how things are going and what's working for you, what's not working for you. If it feels uncomfortable, but you push through it anyway, we're super proud of you, and let us support you. So have a great day, and we'll talk soon.